What's up, guys? So it's really early in the morning. My wife's not up yet. I had planned on last night doing the Ultra Premium Collections Celebrations box. I am going to open one of those despite what I just spent on them. I'm going to keep some on ice. Well, I'm going to keep one on ice, I think, and shelve it. I'm going to keep this case because it's just cool. And I'm probably going to put one on Mercari, and then I'm going to open one here. But I want to do that with my wife, because I want to include her in some of these videos because it's fun. It's something for us to do together. But I'm actually going to do something different today, which some viewers, subscribers may not be interested in. But I am going to talk about my Yu-Gi-Oh collection. So Yu-Gi-Oh is a totally different card game. Some of you may recognize some of these characters. If you're not familiar with the game off the bat, this might jog your memory. Some of these characters. Ooh. So I'm going to talk about how I got back into this and what started that. So, and go over pretty much all of my collection in one video as quick as possible. So basically I knew I was about to have a baby girl, and I was thinking about cards. I thought about my childhood, what makes me me, and I was into Yu-Gi-Oh probably definitely more than Pokemon. I was definitely more of a Yu-Gi-Oh fan nerd than I ever was Pokemon. Pokemon I didn't even know how to play. I only knew that I liked some of the cards and that they were kind of cool. But I was definitely more interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! And part of the reason of that is my parents are artists, and so I was always drawing stuff in school. I was always drawing monsters and soldiers and warriors and mixes, fusions almost of the two. And I have that drawing book. I might actually do a video showing all the stuff that I used to draw. I was really into the artwork more for Yu-Gi-Oh! And some of my friends' parents couldn't even have the cards because they thought they were demonic looking. So I thought that was pretty funny. But, you know, as you guys, as you can't see, as you can see now, I have the four starter decks up here. I've got my Yugi, my Kaiba, my Joey, and my Pegasus. The Joey and the Pegasus are first editions, and then I have an unlimited right here, and then I have two unlimiteds right here. They're all new. That was the biggest thing. So when I realized that I couldn't find my cards, I was freaking out. I couldn't find my cards anywhere. I suspect I threw out and gave away a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. My mom, however, was able to find a small box pretty much full of old commons and a stack of holographic cards. So I was really happy that that happened. But after I got those, it kind of started the ball rolling. Then I wanted to get the starter decks. Then after that, I ordered these gold boxes, and I got, oh, battery's low. And I got all of these structure decks. Pretty much every single second gen deck that's fairly fresh. That came out after the starter decks. I wanted to get all those, and I didn't go any further than that. It was just the structure decks and the starter decks. And then, you know, I rewatched all the episodes in the first season, and that made me even more nostalgic in the second season, and I decided to start recreating decks. For example, the Big Five, if you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! In the second generation, there's an episode where there's the Big Five. There's like five guys at the very top pulling the strings in the second season, and they battle Joey and Yugi. And Berserk Dragon isn't one of those. The five-headed dragon, there's like a five-headed dragon. I'm forgetting what it's called, but there's a five-headed dragon. Berserk Dragon is just one of them, but I decided I would theme a deck around those guys. In fact, yes, here it is. Yeah, and this is part of that theme deck. And you can find decks built around themes of characters on eBay, but I know Berserk Dragon is really, really cheap, but I really, really like Berserk Dragon. I think he's really, really cool. And the artwork is just amazing on this card. So that was the big 5. And then I have 10 deck boxes because I started playing. I started, my friends that would come over, I would play with them. So I ended up building a deck based around the Harpy Sisters and My Valentine. Some of the cards are newer, like Harpy's Oracle. So some of the cards are newer. But for the most part, you've got cards like Harpy Brother in there. This is a big deck of cards. Probably the most iconic of the Harpy Lady cards was actual Harpy Lady. This was in the first season with My Valentine. But basically, and I have 3 of these in this deck, but basically Amazoness Tiger, Harpy Lady Sisters, but basically the most important thing in this deck, so I can go to the next one, is Harpy's Pet Dragon. These decks are not ready for tournament play. They're not at all. They're more for fun. I have a friend of mine who keeps up with the game, and when we play his decks, I get overwhelmed, and that's kind of why I've stepped away from Yu-Gi-Oh! And collecting the newer series. It could be cool to just collect the cards, but I'm just not interested anymore. It's gone a little bit too far for me. Pokemon's gone a little too far too, but not as far. I feel like Pokemon is still a game that I could pick up and keep playing. Okay, so in this deck, it's actually, and I have 2 copies kind of this deck setup, but in this deck, it is based on the kind of the first deck that Bandit Keith has. It has Garnecia Elephantis. This is literally one of my favorite cards. So underrated, in my opinion. This one is just a super rare. It's really basic, probably a reprint, because I got it for a couple bucks. Garnecia Elephantis, and then you've got CRU, Barrel Dragon. I don't know if there's going to be a holo in here of Barrel Dragon. Firewing Pegasus is a card that Bandit Keith had. Mechanical Chaser. Slot Machine. Let's see if y'all can see that. Twin Barrel Dragon, that's a newer card. Metal Zoa. And that's just a basic. Gradius, which I definitely remember him having. I really like this card. I'm not sure why. It's just nostalgic for me. And let's see. Zoa, who turns into Metal Zoa. Pretty iconic. Zera the Mant, which I got this in one of the boxes way back. It's just a super rare, really basic, but really cool looking card. Machine King, of course. Super War Lion. I'm not sure if he used Megasonic Eye, but it is in here. That's a first edition. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, let's put that away. A lot of these cards do have holos in them. They were fun building. Okay, so this was the brothers. The Labyrinth Brothers. I'm forgetting what their name was. In fact, it was orange because one of them is wearing like an orange outfit. But, of course, the most important card, Gate Guardian. This guy's actually worth a pretty penny. It's a secret rare. I think this Gate Guardian is worth something like 40 bucks, 50 bucks. Wall Shadow. If you're familiar with Wall Shadow was one of the cards that was used in that episode. And of course, Labyrinth Wall, that's used with Wall Shadow. Put all these cards back. Got Wall Shadow in there. And then you've got the parts of Gate Guardian. You've got Sanga of Thunder. I have 2 of these in here. Muka Muka, Mr. Volcano, Battle Footballer, a lot of old cards just to make it real. Like, M Warrior is useless, but I'm pretty sure he was in that episode. I really tried to make everything based on those guys. Mystical Sheep, Like, there's a lot of cards in here that don't really help out at all, but they're a part of it. YUGIOH, it's part of the Gate Guardian trio. And then this was one of my personal cards, YUGIOH. It's actually a super rare. You can see a little bit of shine on there. YUGIOH. Got M Warrior, Swords of Revealing Light, another YUGIOH, another Gate Guardian, but this is just a rare. Another YUGIOH. I guess I had 2 of each. Oh, super iconic, but I don't have the cards for it. Labyrinth Tank. Really one of my favorite cards. I remember pulling that in a pack and just being astounded by how cool it looks. A lot of other cards in here, like Hibikimi. That's an old card that I think was run. I'm not sure. The Bistro Butcher, I'm pretty sure he was in the episode, but I'm not 100% sure. But I like to think that it's pretty credible build. Try to move along here because it's already 10 minutes long. As I showed you in the beginning, I just basically went after all the decks. I'm big on decks. You guys know this, so I went after all these newer decks. We've got Kaiba and YUGIOH structured decks. I'm trying to see. This is reloaded and this is reloaded, so these are the reloaded decks. This is just a newer structure deck. And then you've got the Merrick Deck. I actually have the playable Winged Dragon of Ra in this deck. Is one of the god cards. You have to run it with Merrick, and then Lava Golem. I love this deck. This deck is still good for modern play. Especially because you're making it so no one can touch the graveyard, which is pretty crucial. Effects don't work on anything in the graveyard. Okay, so this is one of my favorite, Weevil Underwood. So if y'all watched the first season, very iconic card here. Great Moth. I love insects. I love insects. I think this is really cool. I've got a Javelin Beetle in here. He came with the same box that Zera the Mant came in. A bunch of super rares. I also have a regular Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. I'm pretty sure I have a holographic in here. Blade Fly. A lot of basic cards. 4-star Ladybug of Doom. I know y'all remember that if you remember the old packs. Eradicating Aerosol. Gotta have that. Of course, so this is a deck that blends the first season Weevil Underwood with the second season Weevil Underwood, because we've got Parasite, which your opponent grabs that, all their cards become insects. We've got Drill Bug, which allows us to find that Parasite. Vile Germs, which is just kind of a cool card to have in there. This is a newer card, but it's cool because it has the art with Great Moth and Gaia, the Winged Dragon champion, I believe. So this is cool. It's a newer card. Arsenal Bug. That's cool. It's older. Insect Imitation. This allows you to get your insect cards that you really need. Another Javelin Beetle. This card's really cool just because it's older. Hunter Spider. A lot of cool weak insects in here. Rainbow Flower. That's another old one. Insect Neglect. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Flying Kimikari. Ooh, Killer Needle. This one's an OG one. It's pretty much useless, but I had to have it in the deck. It makes the deck a true. Petite Moth. I'm still trying to figure out what the whole point is between Petite and Larva Moth. They don't make a lot of sense. And then you've got Cocoon of Evolution. And then it turns into Great Moth. Very hard to get out. Hercules Beetle. I had to order this one. It wasn't cheap. It was like $5 for just this common card. But look at that artwork. It's beautiful. I will always have a soft spot for Yu-Gi-Oh, but only the old Yu-Gi-Oh. If anybody ever wants to play, a YouTuber comes out to Charlotte, to do the older Yu-Gi-Oh, I would be down with that. We got Forest, Rafflesia Seduction. It's just a plant card, slightly newer, not too much newer. Metal Armored Bug, which is just a really overpowered, hard to get on the field card. It's got 2,800 attack, 2 tributes. Pinch Hopper, which kind of looks like Great Moth a little bit. Empress Mantis, That's one of the cards YUGIOH played. I'm pretty sure, if not in the first season, the second season. Jade Insect Whistle, help you get your insect cards. Insect Queen, which was in the second season. Another Petite Moth. Jirai Gumo, which this card could be pretty much summoned, but you couldn't attack with it. When you declare an attack, toss a coin. If you call it wrong, take half your life points before attacking. Yes, before attacking. So if you flipped wrong on chance with this card, it was useless. Parasite. More cards we've seen before. Oh, here we go. Here's the secret rare, perfectly ultimate great moth. I don't know if y'all can see very well on that. And another Parasite. A lot of duplicate cards. Ooh, Insect Armor. That was used early on. Another Killer Needle. And Insect Barrier, which he used in the second season. Laser Cannon Armor. This is definitely one of my older original cards because it's got a lot of play. Alright, so that is it for Weevil Underwood. We're 16 minutes in. Alright, so this deck is a water deck. So it is based off of Mako Tsunami. You guys recognize him for sure. Takes a tribute and only 1600 attack. Cards were super weak and useless in the early game, but that's okay because they were cool. We've got Crab Turtle was one of my favorites. One of the first cards I pulled ever was a Crab Turtle, so I have a soft spot for him. The Legendary Fisherman 2, this was one of the newer cards that I added in here just because I thought the art was really cool. And then cards like Jellyfish are just... These are older cards that, Tornado Wall, this was in the second season with Mako. I've got Fortress Whale in here. Amphibian Beast, really cool, definitely powerful, kind of like Summon Skull, 2400, takes 1 spirit. Fury of Kairu Shin, that's just cool art. I'm not going to read into that because I don't have time. Takraminos, I thought he was fitting. I'm not sure if Mako ran him, but this is a really cool holographic card with great artwork. Tornado Wall, Amphibious Bugroth. This can attack directly, I believe, if you have Umi on the field. Let's see. So you've got Citadel Whale. This, I believe, was a newer card. And let's see. Umi. Bottom Dweller, this is definitely an older card, just cool for the artwork. Another Deep Sea Warrior. God, there's like 3 Deep Sea Warriors. This deck is not very playable. Here we go. And I have 2 or 3 of these. The Legendary Fisherman. This is the super or ultra rare version. That should be on the front of the deck. Kiryushin, definitely use this card. That's an oldie. Oh yeah. Aquamador, which I don't think he used. I think Yugi used Aquamador. But, yeah, Great White. And there's a lot of other weak water types. This one's pretty much useless. Takes a tribute and has, I think, yeah, 1600 attack. Ooh, and another Legendary Fisherman that is an ultra rare. Yeah, a lot of Legendary Fishermen in there. So that's that. We're running in at 20 minutes. Okay, so when we get down to these last decks, they're basically the starter decks. And, hey baby, it's my wife. They're basically the starter decks, and they're playable though. So I've got the starter decks in boxes, and then I've got the starter decks that I put specifically in sleeves to play so that I could play the old starter decks whenever I wanted to. That's the Yu-Gi-Oh! That I want to play. So here, we're going to get it. So this was the Masked Beast deck. I pulled the Masked Beast pretty much in one of my first packs back in the old days. I was obsessed with that card. I thought it was weird. I thought it was cool. I thought it was kind of scary. You got a lot of Grand Tiki Elders in this Mast Beast deck. YUGIOH is in the Mast Beast deck. Of course, Curse of the Mast Beast. I've got another YUGIOH. Nuvia the Wicked, kind of with that masked theme. Not a great card. I'm running some newer cards, Tiki Soul. I'm actually not sure if those are newer or not. I believe they used this in the episode Lose One Turn, so I'm running that. I just got inspired by all these Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I decided I would do a little Yu-Gi-Oh on the page, and maybe keep up with it at some point. A masked card, Masked Restrict, another Nuvia the Wicked, another Grand Tiki Elder. Here we go. Here's another masked card, Magical Marionette. Kind of goes with the whole theme, and definitely was in that episode. I have Dark Necrofear in here, but I don't know if Dark Necrofear was even a card that they used. I think it was. Yes, Dark Necrofear. I think they used maybe, or maybe it was just Merrick. I'm not sure. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Merrick definitely was famous for using Dark Necrofear. Maybe it was Evil Merrick. I'm not sure, or maybe it was. There's another character with white hair, white gray hair. I'm forgetting who. He's in the first season and he's friends with them, but he's evil too. Anyways, so one of the more important cards in this deck, Mast Beast Descardius. Definitely you have to run him in a Mast Beast deck. A lot of these cards, another Dark Necrofear. This one is a secret rare. A lot of the cards in here are just cards that I really like. It does not mean this deck is that functional, but that's okay because it's for fun. Mask of the Accursed, another masked card that you have to have if you're going to run this Mast Beast deck. Bait Doll, I'm not sure if they ran this in the series, but I think they did. Another masked card, Mask of Brutality. Nuvia the Wicked. Okay, so, and then here you go. Melkid, which you need to summon the other Mast Beast card. Masked card. Mask of Dispel. I just love these mask cards. Mask of Weakness. I'm really a big fan of these mask cards. The Mask of Remnants. And then, of course, most importantly, and this is just a rare, but the Mast Beast. This card was so iconic to me. It was so iconic to me. Full Force Virus. I do believe they ran that. So I'm pretty sure I looked it up. And then this is the Mast Beast that I've had since I was a little kid. And it's just gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful card. It's really, really a beautiful card. It brings back so many memories. Not sure if they ran this, but I got New Doria in there. He just looks like a card they would have ran. And I'm not sure if they ran this. I think they did. Magical Marionette, Tiki Curse, YUGIOH. Another, oh no, this was the Mast Beast that I had. It was actually a super rare. It's actually super rare. This was the one from my childhood, and I know because it has some creases on it. Another mask card, more mask cards. Oh, Chosen One. It's got the little mask on it. This was definitely a card they ran in that episode. Mysterious Guard. They definitely ran this in that episode. And I think Dark Ruler Hades he's kind of wearing a big mask. I'm not sure if they ran him entirely, but he's in this deck. Hysteric Fairy. I'm pretty sure they ran him, even though I had no idea they ran him. It was just a card in their card list that I decided to include. Ooh, Three-Headed Guido. Pretty sure they ran him. And he is a mask covering looking guy. Not sure if they ran this guy, but Spear Cretin is definitely an older card. Pretty OP, if you know what it does. Another Mast Beast, Descartes. You don't have too many of these guys in here because they're kind of hard to get out. But yeah, that wraps the Mast Beast deck up, and we're in at 24 minutes so far. Put that away. Get moving on. And then these are not very specific. These are the starter decks. So, for example, oh crap! So this is one of my favorites. This is Rex. This deck is based on Rex. So Rex Raptor has all of the dinosaur cards. You've got this guy who's in great condition. It's an older fusion. Cybersaurus, one of the first cards I ever got. Two-headed King Rex, who looks beautiful. And of course, I have the purple covers that match with King Rex. This is a secret rare. It's beautiful. Bottomless Trap Hole, Hunting Instinct. We've got some newer dinosaurs, but I want to focus on the older ones. Sword Arm of Dragon. That's one that he ran. I kind of like that this isn't hollow because it would detract from the other hollow cards like Twin-Headed Rex. But he does have Red Eyes Black Dragon before Joey has it. In fact, Joey beats Rex Raptor so that he can get the Red Eyes Black Dragon. I feel like there's a major misconception there. A lot of newer cards, like Black Stego is a newer card, which I think Rex Raptor eventually runs, but I'm not sure. Sabersaurus, I'm pretty sure Rex Raptor runs. And this is a really cool OP card. It's a secret rare. Jurassic World, Dark Triceratops. He's pretty cool. Slices through a defense monster, I think. Yes. Battle damage difference through defense. Anthrosaurus is just a cool, older looking dinosaur. It's also a first edition, which is pretty cool. I've got another two-headed King Rex in here. You just gotta have him, even though, yeah. And it's 4 stars with 1600. It's not bad. Okay, one of Rex's other iconic cards is Serpent Knight Dragon. This is a secret rare. This is one of my favorite cards. You can get them for super cheap online. Maybe not if they're PSA, but Serpent Knight Dragon. This is one of the first cards I pulled as well that I had to recollect. It's a really beautiful card. Of course, Urabi. I distinctly remember Rex Raptor saying, "Go, Urabi!" So, yeah, that's definitely in there. Giant Rex, I think he uses later. I don't think he has Giant Rex in the first season. I believe he uses Blast Juggler. I'm not sure why. It's a crappy card, but it's one of the older cards. If you know, you know. Black Tyranno is one of the newer cards. I don't know if... I think he uses it later on. Definitely not... Oh, Gillosaurus. This is one of the older cards. I'm pretty sure he uses it. But I just love dinosaurs. I wish dinosaurs would come back to an extent. Oh, and we have another Red Eyes Black Dragon in here that is a hollow. These older starter deck cards are so beautiful. The artwork on this card is so beautiful. Red Eyes Black Dragon may be... I almost want to get a tattoo of Red Eyes Black Dragon. He's just so cool. Giant Rex, Two-Headed King Rex. There's a lot of OP dinosaurs in this deck. But with that being said, we are going to stop there. Keep going. We are coming in at 28 minutes. Since I'm doing this on my older phone, it's probably going to process and upload pretty quick though. So I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm going to let it keep running. I might have to do a 2-part video, but we'll see. The Joey deck. You've got Red Eyes Black Dragon, Sangin, Armored Lizard. Iconic cards. Masaki, Legendary Swordsman, some iconic cards. I'm not going to go over these too much, other than some that we all kind of remember. Baby Dragon. Because still got to cut this video so that I can upload it. So I'm just looking at the iconic cards. Penguin Soldier, that's one of the other hollows that you get in the Joey deck. If you're ever going to get a Joey deck, you got to have Penguin Soldier. And then Scapegoat. Basically gives you a barrier of defense. I always loved that card. And we've got a couple more. Time Wizard, super iconic, could totally change up the game, but also was kind of a total fluke. Flame Swordsman, he loved this card. Joey ran this heavy. And Thousand Dragon, which was Baby Dragon and the Time Wizard fused. This card is so cool looking. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So this is these cards are white. This is the Kaiba deck. Okay, some that really stand out to me. Komori Dragon, definitely one of my favorites. Hitatsumi Giant, definitely one of my favorites. Judge Man, you gotta know Judge Man. It's Judge Man. You remember him? Smash somebody to bits. And probably the second most iconic card, other than Blue Eyes White Dragon, is Battle Ox. Battle Ox was really cool. He was in the first season. He's a really cool looking character. This show tied in so well with the card game that for me it was cooler than Pokemon, which cards versus actual like creatures, Pokemon should have been cooler, but I still just think the art is so good for Yu-Gi-Oh that it's not too far, it's not too crazy. You know, I think Magic is a lot harder of a game to understand, and I know how to play Magic. Ryu Kishin Powered, he's a cool looking kind of gargoyle dinosaur, and I like how there's bios for all these cards. This was one of the first cards I pulled. It's pretty special to me, even though he has like 1,000 attack. He doesn't really do much. I'd say third most iconic card in this is Lord of D. It helps you protect your dragon types. Lejin, the Mystical Genie, 1800, no tribute, really easy to get on the field. And then oh god, there's just so many cool cards in here. It's really, really hard to pick out the ones that I like the most. But Sword Stalker is definitely up there. My battery's getting low. So this is Sword Stalker. It looks really, really cool. And without further ado, another one that I really, really like. He's got swords on his arms, like axes on his arms. Rude Kaiser. Really, really cool card. And then the most important, one of the most iconic cards in the entire game, in my opinion, is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I have several Blue Eyes White Dragon decks. I'm obsessed with Kaiba and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's just a beautiful card. It's a really, really beautiful card. Beautiful art. Very nostalgic. I don't think those are ever really going to lose value, quite frankly. And I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is eventually going to blow up the same way that Pokemon has. I think it's a really good time to buy packs in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not, but I should be, because I know they'll go up in value. And I know there's a lot of business in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I've sold several Yu-Gi-Oh! Items on Mercari. So I got Thousand Eyes Restrict here. As you guessed it, this is a Pegasus deck. I do not have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck sleeved. I still need to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck that I can sleeve. You got a lot of stall cards in here. So you have Giant Soldier of Stone, 2000 defense. That was Yugi's card, but it's also used in Pegasus' deck. One of his iconic cards is Toon World, where he creates Toon monsters out of all the other characters' monsters, especially Kaiba. So you've got Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Black Illusion Ritual, which will help you get your Relinquished out. And then cards like Ryu Kishin, or Ryu Ran, which turns into a Toon version. This guy was definitely in the episode. Illusionist, Faceless Mage. That shit, dang. That guy is actually in the beginning of the show. It shows him. You've got Toon World, which really throws a wrench in everyone's plans on the show. Thousand Eyes Idol. This doesn't come in the starter deck, but you need it for Relinquished. You need it for Thousand Eyes Restrict to fuse with Relinquished. And of course, to fuse, in the old days, you had to use Polymerization. They should have never changed that. They should have kept the game semi-slow, in my opinion. Maneater Bug. He's face down. You flip him up. You destroy a card. Toon Summon Skull. Another Toon card. They got a lot of Toon cards in here. Toon Mermaid. Not going to go through them. Graceful Charity, which is pretty useless, in my opinion. This is the manga reran, so the Toon version. Yeah, and then of course, the card that comes in the deck, you've got your Relinquished, which kind of just absorbs whatever the attack and defense of your enemy monsters are. And then we have a deck that is my original deck that happened to be with all my cards when we found them. It's kind of a Fiend deck. It's got Invader of Darkness. Honestly, it's got a lot of holographic cards. That's kind of pretty much it. You've got Dark Necrofear. You've got Archfiend of Glypher. It's in really good condition. It's one of my favorite cards. It just looks so cool. And then actually I have a bunch. So this was a Dark World deck. So if you're not familiar with Dark World, they basically, the cards would allow you to discard cards to have effects and bring back monsters. So I have a bunch of Dark World cards in here. Goblin King. This is an older one. Skull Knight. Summon Skull. And a super rare. It's kind of like a promo looking card. Got a lot of Fiends in here. Another Dark Necrofear, a bunch of Dark World cards, another Dark Necrofear, another Dark Ruler Hades. I really liked these Fiend cards. This was one of the structure decks, but Caius, the Shadow Monarch. Trying to just sift through these as quick as I can. This is a hollow Brawn, Mad King of the Dark World. So my Dark World cards. I also ran Blackwing cards, but I have no idea what happened to all the cards. Another Archfiend of Glypher, yeah. So basically, this deck is all Dark World cards, which look into it if you don't know what that is, especially if you want to play tournaments and stuff, because that's a really cool deck. We've got one more here. It is the Bandit Keith deck, but it's slightly more... it's a slightly newer version, well, a slightly older, more vintage version. It's got a secret rare Barrel Dragon. Barrel Dragon is just so cool looking. It's got 3 guns on his back. It's kind of like a Blastoise. Another Zera the Mant, which was in my other Bandit Keith deck. I'm not sure why I made 2 Bandit Keith decks. You've got another Garnecia Elephantis, because it's Bandit Keith. And then in this one, there's actually a ultra rare CRU. It's definitely one of my favorite cards. Launcher Spider. He definitely ran Launcher Spider. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I certainly do. Slot Machine. Cybertech Alligator. He definitely ran Cybertech Alligator. Robotic Knight was in the first season. It was used in the first season at some point. And let's see, Robotic Knight. We've got Sword Slasher. It's older. You've got Ancient Tool. It's older. These guys out of the way. Let's see. A lot of the same cards repeated. Pot of Greed. Ooh, this card's really cool. So this is a secret rare Metal Zoa. I guess it's in this Bandit Keith deck and not the other. I think one has more modern cards. So just because I like Bandit Keith's cards so much. Disc Magician, it's an older card. Pretty cool. Overdrive. It's basically, I guess, a self-driving car with a Jeep with a machine gun on it. Pretty cool. Really just, these cards just really take me back. Ooh, here we go. Gadget Soldier. Pretty cool guy. Mechanical Chaser. Ooh, this is a card he definitely used, which I really, really wanted in this deck. Pendulum Machine. Definitely used him in an episode. And the secret rare Zoa. It's really nice. Secret rare Zoa. And that wraps up. My baby's crying right now, so I'm going to tend to her shortly. I just wanted to wrap up this video kind of and go through these last cards. So you've got Dark Paladin. Dark Paladin was one of my favorite cards of all time. My aunt got me this card. It's a pretty sick card. Black Skull Dragon. This is a super rare. You can't see it, but it is hollow. Black Skull Dragon's pretty iconic. It's one of Joey's cooler cards. Trihorn Dragon, secret rare. This guy's pretty cool. Dark Magician. Exodia Necros. This is an OG Exodia Necros. A ultra rare Toon Mermaid. Blackluster Soldier. Dang it, I sold my first edition. Blue Eyes White Dragon. This was pulled in one of the collector Kaiba boxes. Black Magician Ritual. Harpy's Pet Dragon. First edition. This is just a rare. Fusionist. It's an older card. Summon Skull. Super rare. I don't know if you guys can see. It is hollow. But hard to tell with these top loaders on. Luster Dragon. Pretty cool. I'm going to save him for last. Save these guys. Blue Eyes White Dragon, pulled in one of the Kaiba collection boxes. Shield Crush is a secret rare. And we get into the Black Wings. Blackwing, Elfin the Raven. I actually have 2 of them because that was remnants of my old Blackwing deck. Blast Magician. I don't know if you can see that hollow on this guy. We've got 3 Giant Germs because I used to run a Exodia deck heavily. And these were some of my stall cards. They're all holographic. All these cards are holographic. Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon. I really like him. This is a newer card, but the art is really, really cool. Battlestorm. Not sure when I got him, but he's cool. Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Definitely got him out of a 10, if y'all remember those days. Arm Dragon level 7. I loved the level Arm Dragons. Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is an alternative artwork. He's cool. OG Dark Magician. Definitely one of my favorites. I'm really upset I didn't have an open Yugi deck to go over, but Dark Magician is just so cool. Water Dragon. This guy's worth a pretty penny, but nobody ever runs him. I can't remember what episode it's in, or if it's in an episode. Makiura the Destructor. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. The art on him is cool. Behemoth, the king of all animals. Behemoth, I guess. Death Counterblow, I think is an older card. I'm not sure, though. Emissary of the Afterlife. Can't really see. It's like a Reaper. We've got this stack. Blue Eyes White Dragon. This one looks really good. I don't know how old it is, but it's really, really beautiful. It's definitely a secret rare. Yeah, it's definitely a secret rare. Guy the Fierce Knight, ultra rare. Beautiful. Out of an unlimited pack, though, is not a first edition. Guy the Dragon Champion, out of an unlimited pack. It's beautiful. These are the cards you definitely want to have. Magician of Black Chaos. And a lot of these aren't first edition, unfortunately. But still beautiful. Red Eyes Black Dragon, another alternate art. Can't really see the shine on it. The hollow's not amazing. A rare Gaia. Another rare Gaia the Fierce Knight. A holographic Dark Hole. YZ Tank Dragon. This card's pretty cool. I love those tank dragons. And a gold sarcophagus, which I thought I had a first edition gold sarcophagus, which would have been worth buku bucks, but this is just a limited edition. Guardian Sphinx, pretty sure I got him out of a tin. It's a limited edition, not first edition. Vampire Lord. And that is a wrap for all of my collector cards. And then these are probably three of my favorite. Buster Blader. This is one of my first cards ever. It's probably my favorite card of all time, honestly. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. This card's really cool. And then the OG Obelisk, the Tormentor, is probably my most valuable card. I didn't even know until recently that these were worth a pretty chunk of change. Yes, this is the blue-backed version. It has a tiny little nick. It has two tiny little nicks on it, but it is gorgeous. This card is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if y'all can see this, but it's a really, really nice card. Probably one of the more iconic cards in the entire game. He's beautiful. And I got the newer decks that have them with their effects. Anyways, this was a 46-minute video. It's going to take a while to upload, but I hope you guys enjoy. Peace out.